तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया।
Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to our Business Opportunity Over Chai. And this special edition Business Opportunity Over Chai will help you to understand the greatest business opportunity that Franchise India brings for you. Business Opportunity Over Chai management by Franchise India team, Mr. Gaurav Maria, Chairman at Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, MD at Franchise India Brands Limited. Every day, 12 o'clock, we launch a new brand to explore new business opportunities. So today, we invited a great brand, Smarten School. Smarten School is now open for schooling, and they are partnering with 3 different models: Brownfield, Greenfield, and management contracts, with the minimum investment of 1.5 CR. To know more about this business opportunity, I would like to invite Mr. Saras Gupta, Head and Development Department of Franchise India, and Mr. Shitesh from the brand side.
Thank you very much, Harshika, for a beautiful introduction, and thank you, Kshitijji, and thank you all friends who have joined us live on during this webinar, and big thanks to all people who are even watching us on YouTube and Facebook. Picking up a business is absolutely a complete process. Of course, we pick up franchises absolutely for the ease of business that we want to do. And today, when we are going to explore this business opportunity over chai, we are inviting a great iconic brand, which is absolutely into the schooling part, Smarten. Smarten has been a great industry leader, and they have been giving equal opportunities in the education part since 2005. 1,500 plus students plus 3,000 plus alumni, and their curriculum mapped to UNESCO lifestyle and of course designed by veterans with 75 years of experience. Today, they are going to offer different business models that we have. So we have brownfield model, a greenfield model, and even a management contract they can take over. So with that, I would like to invite Mr. Kshitij, who is heading this vertical along with the parents who conceived this brand, the Play School, to tell us more about this business opportunity. So Kshitij, once again, a very warm welcome to Business Opportunity Over Chai. And before we start with a formal presentation, tell us about your journey, how it actually started, how did your parents started, how this idea actually came to you. So.
Sure, Saras. Thanks, first of all, for this nice introduction. All right. So, where we started off, right? So, my mom's been a teacher throughout her life, and education has been her life. I mean, her joy in life was me and my brother and the kids in her classroom. We were all equal. So, doing that for good 20, 25 years, what she realized is that there are a lot of gaps in the education where we want to be as a country with a student exactly what to do when and how. So with that in mind, she started off with in Delhi area, which sort of pumped her into opening up another play school in the area adjoining that one, and thereafter another, and thereafter another. And what we realized is at that time I was just finishing off my graduation from FMS, Faculty of Management Studies, at Delhi University, and in discussions, what we realized is that there is parents actually appreciate when you are, and why can't we take this over to K-12? Why just contain ourselves to play schools? And that's where the initial foundation of the idea of setting up a K-12 came in back in 2007 2008 period. We acquired land, and we started building the school and everything. And thereafter, in next 10 15 years 10 11 years, till today, we have seen immense growth, not just in terms of number of students and everything, but in terms of social capital that we have built for ourselves in the area. From being a school, it became a landmark, and today, it's a first preference for anybody who wants to take admission in that area. And that's been a journey. All throughout this journey, mom and dad, Colonel Ruhail, you'll see his picture shortly in the deck, and my mother, they were the pillars, navigating through all the hoops and understanding of what has to be done, how, when, why. And during the initial part of the time, I was with him for about good 3-4 years. And after that, I did my MBA from ISB, Indian School of Business. And after having some international exposure in tech industry and hospital industry in India as well as abroad in US, I came back to essentially further strengthen our hold in this market by growing organically, by setting up our own schools, as well as by helping other entrepreneurs really take a plunge into this business and grow themselves as well. So that's the nutshell introduction of how it started and where we are today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Hitesh. Very inspiring it was. So you're actually coming from the roots itself. And what a pedigree, you did not like something about education, so apna school khol lete.
Yeah,
But
if
again,
you
that
want to
was
make it,
actually a
why
problem
not?
solver you actually when it became. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's start with the formal presentation now. Harshika, can you pick up the slide, please, now? So friends, in the meantime, while we are talking, please use the Q&A box, which is just down. Please use the Q&A box, keep posting your questions, and after this formal presentation, we'll pick up these questions, please. Thank you.
So again, good afternoon, everybody. Smarten School, as the logo says, established in 2009 because that's when we established our first K-12 school. Before that, we were running play schools by the name of Smarten, which we still do. When it comes to K-12, we believe in two core concepts: no child left behind and every child matter. And that again relates back to what I was just saying, that there is a gap, why not fill it? So the entire ideology behind the Smarten School, the way we operate as an institution, is at no point should any child be left behind in the way they feel about themselves. It's not about what you think about them, it's what they feel about themselves, right? And that is why every child matters. If you go on to the next slide, uh, Ashika, can we go on to the next slide, please? Thank you. So the photograph that you see on the top left corner is my father, Colonel Ruhail, Colonel Zat Singh Ruhail. He essentially, with my mother, as I just said, came up with this, why not go into the K-12 domain? So Smarten Schools were founded in 2005 as a play school brand. And thereafter in 2009, we started establishing our own K-12 senior secondary schools. Right now, we are in process of establishing our own another school in Alva city, which is about 1.5 hours from Gurgaon in Rajasthan area. We have had 1,500 plus students this year. In total, we have had 3,000 plus alumni in the K-12 brand alone. If we include play school, the alumni list would go up to 10,000 students. We have achieved outstanding results in academics, in sports, in extracurricular. You talk about anything, you talk about CBSE Gold Medals, you talk about Olympiad Gold Medals, you talk about national and state level sports championships. Just to give you an example, one of our students is now playing in under 15 cricket team of India, right? So we have somehow been able to, and just to give you an introduction of Nazargarh, the place where we operate our K-12 school, first K-12 school, it's not exactly, what you would imagine of Delhi. It's sort of a suburb of Delhi. It's a bit outside Delhi kind of a thing, right? It's although Delhi pin code 43, but suburb. The community out there is not as exposed as Delhi community would be to various things in the world. Before we started the school, the big question in that area used to be, will my child be able to speak in English? In last decade or so, we have been able to change that question to, can my child go to IIT or IIM or AFMC or a big school, a big college like that? So that's a transformation that a good education institution can provide to the community, and that's what we've been able to do. And that's what builds social capital. It's built it for us, and whoever aligns with us, it will build the social capital in your community for you as well, wherein people would know you, people would respect you. So it's not just about money, it's about gaining admiration for generations for your family in your community area. And that's where we come to Smarten way. So the Smarten way is the way we impart education, the way we impart smart education for smart results is different from the way many other people or many other brands would look at education. We believe in a scientific methodology for accountable results for technologically engaged natives. And that's Smarten, right? That's a full form of Smarten. Scientific methodology for accountable results for technologically engaged natives. And why technologically engaged natives? Because the generation Z, the generation that's coming now, after that generation Z, they're all, kids who have been born pretty much with an iPhone, with an Android phone, with a tablet, or with a laptop in their hands. If any of you have had kids in the recent past, in last 5, 6 years, you know that it's difficult to navigate your life with your child without a phone, or giving your phone to your kid every now and then. And that's where the education methodology has to change, and that's what we were able to foresee 10, 11 years ago, that that's going to happen. It's taking place. How do we equip our students today for what's going to happen in the future? And that's wherein we mapped the entire curriculum. We went beyond the CBSE curriculum in the sense of mapping it to UNESCO Key Life Skills, that no matter what you want to do in future, I mean, you could be an engineer who's now set up a hospital. You could be a doctor who's now done MBA and is in a management consulting position. So your education subject, while it gives you the ability to think, gives you critical thinking abilities, it's not the only thing that defines your success. Your life skills define your success. And that's where we map this technologically engaged native curriculum to UNESCO Key Life Skills to ensure that the child is equipped, along with requisite subject matter knowledge, to adapt and deal effectively with demands and challenges of life. And that's why we have been able to generate the results that we just spoke of, right? The under 15 cricket team, the gold medals in CBSE, the Olympiad gold medals, and all of that stuff, right? So that's what we are, that's who we are, and that's how we are, really imparting education. Next slide, please. That brings us to our vision and our mission. Our vision is to set up world-class K-12 schools, but now this is not just a line, as briefed in the previous slide. It's more than just setting up world-class K-12 schools in terms of building or air conditioning or stuff like that. It's about actually setting up world-class K-12 schools. I mean, think about it. IIM Ahmedabad does not have the most fancy campus in the world, but it's a world-class MBA institution. AIMS has nowhere close to any of the fancy institutions that you can think of, but it's a world-class. It's globally renowned and recognized, right? So the goal is to set up world-class K-12 institutions, known not just for the quality of education, but for the holistic development of future leaders, our Smart Knights. And our mission is to inspire and guide these Smart Knights to reach their highest potential. Coming back again to no child left behind, every child matters, right? So achieve their highest potential in mind, body, and spirit, and be ready for a glorious future that awaits them. Because if you're not just bound by subject matter knowledge, but are equipped with key life skills, you will attain success no matter what you do. Next slide, please. So how do we do that? There is a classroom methodology that we've developed. There's a beyond classroom methodology that we developed. We can go into detail of this in Q&A, but essentially it's the way we take into account the environment, the teachers, the community, the children themselves and their family, roll it all into one single pedagogy, which yields a curriculum to achieve the objective that we've laid out for ourselves. And that's what, if you are a franchisee, if you are a partner of us, you get access to that. And that's what will really bring out the real benefit of being with Smarten. It will set you apart from the market, right? So that's what classroom methodology and beyond classroom methodology is about. One of the favorite lines that me and my father share is that leaders are made, they are not born. And this was a line said by Mr. Vince Lombardi, the legendary NFL coach, National Football League coach of US. So we can create leaders. Leaders are not born, right? Alexander was not born. He was created by his community, by his environment, by his mother, by his father, by his educators. Any great man, Warren Buffett was not born, he was created by this community, by his environment, by his educators. Everybody's created. Why not create our own future leaders? So that's why, our classroom methodology and beyond classroom methodology comes into action. Next slide, please. What we are offering, okay, so I'll just go quickly through this. You as a franchisee, can decide where you want to sit, whether you want to start with a primary school, a middle school, or go all the way to a senior secondary school. That's yours. There are various facilities that every school has, like smart classrooms, labs, infirmary. What we have or what we develop in addition to that are science, technology, engineering, and mathematics rooms. So STEM rooms, which are basically Lego toy-based learning for coding, for technology, for science. There are geography labs that we built up, all of that stuff that we do, which really sets us apart. So those, while they are very good for the child to really give them a holistic learning experience, they're good for you as well, because they essentially become the talking part of the town. That's what the entire community around your school is going to talk about. Even this school has so many additional things which they have never heard of, which were only seen in Netflix TV shows of US schools, the facilities, but they are here. So that what sets you apart again. And again, co-curricular activities. Yes, there are a lot of co-curricular activities: yoga, music, dance, cricket, football, sports, taekwondo. Actually, we have Delhi state level taekwondo champions in our school. Excursions are conducted to give a broader holistic learning experience, Fit India movement for yoga and everything, right? Next slide, please. Where all we are present right now? As I said at the introduction, we have one senior secondary school right now, which is functioning in Southwest Delhi, in Najafgarh area, Delhi 43, that is, New Delhi 110043. We are also right now in the building process of another school in Alba City Center. That we're going to keep a all-girls school. So that's going to be a Smarten Queens Global School. We're also in discussion with the three partners. And actually, when this deck was made, there were two, but now they've become three partners. One is in Greater Noida area, one is in Dwarka Expressway area, another one is in Golf Extension SPR Road area. Right? So we're already in discussions with three others. That is for Smarten International School, which is going to be a bit of a more luxury schooling segment kind of a brand. But yeah, the core ethos that translates across all these three brands is the Smarten way of education, right? The scientific methodology for accountable results for technologically engaged natives. That's the core theme. You can brand it the way you want to, but that's what's going to flow across. Okay. Next slide, please. On our business model, right now, there are multiple opportunity areas that one can look at. While this slide says, first phase target of 30 plus schools and key metros and everything, from a very core perspective, this is well, when I was working as strategy head in Tech Mahindra, my CEO, CP Gurnani used to have the statement of BHAG goals. BHAG meant big, hairy, audacious goals. So this is the big, hairy, audacious goal. But what we are really looking for is partners who understand the value of education. It doesn't require them to be really from education sector, but they understand the value that education, good quality education, can bring to the communities, and are really willing to partner with us and transform the lives of the students. So everything else is just a number. It's just a district, a pin code, an area. What we really want to do is transform the way education is perceived in this country, organically by opening up our own schools, inorganically by partnering with people like you to open up more schools. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah. So I just spoke about this ideal partner profile. All of these again are concepts and words, but the core ethos is people who really want to transform their communities and who are passionate about making a change while obviously running a profitable business, right? Nobody wants to really spend 100 rupees into something and not make any money out of it. That's a separate part of it. But the core ethos has to be make a change and make a legacy, right? So just giving an example, whichever is the best school in your area, and if your area has been established for years and years, the best school in your area, if they kept up with their schooling standards and have updated themselves in the world, they'll be best school today also. And that's what the difference is. Any other industry, right, is it's cyclical, it is time bounded. Education is legacy. It's not a cyclical time bounded industry, it's a legacy creation industry. If you open up a good school today, run it well, and keep up with our help with all the changes that are happening in the world, when your child starts running this institution after your retirement, and when their child, so your grandkid, starts running the institution after your child's retirement, it'll still be the best, and it'll be a legacy that will be created for generations to come. It doesn't end with you. It never ends. It's a legacy for your family, for you, for your family name, for the rest of your kids and your kids' lives. So that's the potential of education sector, and that's why we need people who are passionate about transforming, about making a change, about making a dent while being a profitable initiative. Next, please. So that's where we have come up with three different, models of engagement. Uh, the greenfield model, which is you are the entrepreneur, you make all the investment, you operate the school, we help you in every way, and not just a philosophical help you, but rather get on the ground, roll up our sleeves, and get dirty into getting things done with you. So that's greenfield model. Imagine us as not just a consultant, but rather a partner who's building the school with you. And these are not just words. And that's why when the slide came of 30 plus schools and everything, I said, those are numbers and words. I want to have only that many number of partners in a year in which I can physically come down and help you. And I can pick up your call whenever, wherever, whatever. I do not want to open up 100 schools and then say, boss, I don't have time for you. No, because I want to effect a change in the society. Brownfield is partner-owned, brand operated. And again, in this one, you would be the entrepreneur who's investing everything. We will be operating the school on your behalf. That is assuming that you do not have the bandwidth, the time required to run the school on your own. We will be operating it for you. But in this, the constraint becomes, then in that case, in Brownfield, we need to be close somewhere to Delhi NCR so that we can physically come and sit out there and not just make a Brownfield deal in which one principal or one administrator is sent to run things for you. The management contract is again similar to Brownfield, wherein you have already invested everything, you've already made the school is already running, but you're not able to, effect a change with the school in your community. For whatever reason, we would come in, we would consult you, we would make all the changes required. We would start, infusing newer methodologies, newer tools, newer things into your school to make it better, to make it more, lucrative for the students, for the parents. And just like in Brownfield operation, we'll be pretty much running the show for you. Next slide, please. So we've already covered this. If required, you can just read through it, and there are any questions we can answer on this one. Roles and responsibilities, again, very clear. Depending upon the model, the partner is responsible for day-to-day operations, including hiring of support staff, academic staff. Also, so if let's look at just greenfield model, right, to make it more clearer as to what this talks about. So in greenfield model, it is franchisee owned, franchisee operated. It's owned by you, it's operated by you. We are supporting you. In that model, you are responsible for all the day-to-day operations, including hiring of staff, support staff, teachers, principals, everything. Now, when you hire people, critical positions like teaching staff, principals, headmistress, administrators, and your admission counselor, That is wherein we would come in and we would, do some round of interviews for you for the candidates that you have shortlisted, or we would shortlist the candidates and provide them to you so that you can, identify which people you like to work with and how much is your budget and whether they fit your budget or not. It's not my job to tell you that you must be paying XYZ figure to somebody. That's your prerogative. I can only tell you that in that XYZ figure, sir, ma'am, this person is the best person for us, right? So that is day-to-day operations, hiring, and all of that stuff. Administrative work, enrollment of students, including course guidance. We would provide all of that to you, but implementing it on the ground. So, for example, we have hired your admission counselor. Trained your admission counselor. We have provided all the scripts and everything. We are also taking some queries centrally in Delhi for you so that you can get more and more conversion. But implementing, making sure that your administrator or your admission counselor is working to their 100% ability, that is something that can be done only when you're physically present. So that's your prerogative, right? Course execution in respective schools. Now, this is part where we would take up the responsibility of giving the entire curriculum to your principal directly. Our academic, administrators would directly be in touch with your principal, making sure that they know, the principal of your school knows what is being taught, when, how, where, why, how it's going to be delivered and everything. How is the smart classroom technology and the student application that we provided for your students, they come into play to deliver this education to your students. And also ask your principal on a weekly basis through video calls or through in-person meetings as to where they are finding certain difficulties and how can we transform certain things, how can we effect certain changes to make it better for them to implement education at your place, right? Now, when all of this is said and done, obviously your prerogative becomes that the protocols, guidance that we are giving to you, to your teachers, to your principal, to your admission counselor, that they are following. Because if we give all the guidance, if we give all the SOPs and they are not being followed by people, then you would not be able to get the best result possible, right? So that's wherein your day-to-day operations involvement comes in, that make sure that everything that has to be done is being done. Now, obviously, when you run a school over 5 years, 6 years period, it'll become a natural extension of your thought process. Initially, it'll be a bit of a work, but then as you get used to it, it'll become easier and easier every year, right? You take care of all the payments. We are not indulging ourselves into that. We will never ask you for, okay, show us your balance sheet or your books or whatever. That's up to you. How you manage your payment records, how do you hire your chartered accountants and all of that stuff, that's up to you. Local marketing and promotion in the respective area is up to you. And the reason for that is you know your market better. So if you're sitting somewhere in part of Kolkata and you know where, the advertising would be most effective as a board or as a sun pack, I cannot come and say that, boss, I do not think this is going to happen. You know your local area, so you do that. What we do is national level marketing for you, national level brand awareness on social media as well as on digital media platforms. That's on us. Local marketing is on you. We would always give you all the creatives required for local marketing, but we won't be able to execute it for you. So that's clarity on that. And again, accounting, billing, records maintenance on central server. These are your servers. So if you have multiple branches of play schools and schools running, these are your servers. You will maintain all of your records. You maintain all of your books. We are not here to indulge in your entrepreneurial journey. We are here to support your entrepreneurial journey. So we don't want to, have records of your revenue setups and all that stuff. And on the brand side, what you can see is what we've just covered. That we'll be giving you regular R&D, keeping you up with the latest trends, training of your training of your teachers, training of your principal. We provide access to all the material, the test series, the practical examples, the student app, the smart classroom content, what the student is going to teach. What the student is going to learn in this subject today at this hour in the classroom. What examples will be shown, what experiential learning examples will be shown. All of that will be given by us. So that just clarifies the roles and responsibilities of partner-owned and partner-operated school, what the partner, what you are doing, and what we, the brand, are doing for you. Next slide, please. All of this, again, we are here to help you throughout. So, by the way, the photograph that you see, that's my favorite room. That's the computer lab in our school, the first school of ours. That's a computer lab, and right adjacent to it is a STEM lab, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics lab, where we have the Lego sets, which kids love. So I really love this picture. All right. So where we come in is site selection. So we would guide you that. So when you're thinking about this slide or when you're thinking about that site, which would be better for you from a perspective of running the school? How should you fit out the school at the lowest cost possible? Again, because we've been running building schools for so many years now, there is a certain amount of experience that we have as to how you can get the maximum bang for your buck, so to say. Comprehensive course material with periodic updates would be given by us. Staff hiring support, guidance, and final selection. So final selection is yours. The guidance is ours. Positions and training process. Training process is given by us. So that's not your headache. But final selection is upon you because you are the person who is holding the budget strings. You have to decide whether this is at cost level feasible for you or not. So that's why you finally decide which staff position to be hired. And these are again critical staff positions. Normal run-of-the-mill staff positions are something for you to hire on your own. We do not want to indulge ourselves in that. When it comes to your accountant, your a marketing person, those are yours. 360-degree marketing support at national level would be given by us. R&D on latest trends and changes would be given by us, and we keep on doing this on a quarterly basis. We keep on changing our curriculum also as and when required. For example, when NEP 2020 came, we had to swiftly make a few changes in the curriculum to abide by CBSE, and NCRT requirements as they're going to come in the future. Periodic tests, practice assignments, test papers, mock exam papers for board classes, all of that will be given by us. Reference material for students is again, application based, mobile application based, that will be given by us. Smart classroom reference material would be given by us. So all of that would be given by us. Next, please. These are the 30,000 feet level, financial requirements. They've already been covered at the start. Minimum 1 acre of land. Now, 1 acre of land minimum, or where that comes in is in tier 1 cities, CBSE requires minimum 1 acre of land. In tier 2 cities, CBSE requirement is 2 acres of land. So it depends upon where your location is. The land requirement will change. Another thing that changes with the land requirement is how many number of students you can have. So if you have 1 acre of land, at maximum per CBSE written law, you cannot have more than, I think, 1,300 students. If you have more than 1 acre of land, you can have as many number of students as you want to. So again, your area requirement depends upon not just what I say, but upon what CBSE bylaws require you to do, and by your vision of how big you want your school to be. The investment amount, again, depends upon whether it's a brownfield model, or if it's a greenfield model, whether you acquired the land or the land was already present for you, whether you lease the land. So for example, greenfield, if you have land already available with you, or you're leasing the land, the total investment would go way below 8 CR that's written out here, right? Brand fees, something that is one-time fees. Minimum guarantee or technical know-how fees are basically the charges that are paid by the brand to you or by you to the brand. Where you see the 10% in greenfield technical know-how, that we are again, because of the discussions that we're already having with some people, that may change. But on the brownfield model, 12% of your investment or 5% and 5,000 rupees per student on an annualized basis to you. That is something that is fixed. Return on investment. So again, I mean, this is something that you can check with multiple brands. It's a well-known fact that schools operate with a gross margin of anywhere between 35% to 55%. Schools break even operationally at a strength of about 150 to 200 students. And after that, your margins keep on expanding as the strength keeps on expanding, right? So that's why a payback period of 5 to 6 years or 8 to 9 years could be way shorter if in your area there is no, there is more demand for schooling and there is less supply from school side, right? So the payback period could be way shorter as well. I think that's the deck in entirety. Is there any other slide? Nope, that's it. And that's the closing message. If you really want to inspire and guide your next generation, open your own Smarten school and we will do that for you.
Thank you, Kshitij. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity that you have really showcased, and very impressive is it, as we started probably with a problem in the education system that you really found, and now giving a solution. Because myself being a father, I understand, what kind of education that we're looking on. And I really like the definition of Smarten, with the scientific methodology, accountability, results, technology, engage, and native. So, of course, that was really adding to the pedigree what any father or any parent would look like. So, friends, so we are now open for any question and answers that you have. You can please use the Q&A box, and now we'll start taking the questions as well. I see already been posted here. So we have Mr. Bhatnagar who's asking, how do you be able to accountable funds for very first infrastructure of K-12? So friends,
Actually, that's
sorry,
a
go ahead.
beautiful question, Prakharji. Sorry, sir. May I?
Go ahead. Please.
Yeah. So Prakar, Prakharji, that's a beautiful question, and it sort of, let me just tie it down to a story. When we started our first senior secondary school in Delhi, my father is a army officer. He is a first generation officer of his family, so there is no paternal wealth as such, right? So when we started our first school, I kid you not, at that time we had a few lakh rupees in account of gratuity and PF. So if you have any government employee in your family, you know what gratuity and PF comes to for an officer when he retires. So it was a meager amount. And in that meager amount, we had to, sort of do interiors of the home that had acquired at one point in time in his career, which he would settle into when he retired. So we need some money for that. And some money we needed to open up this senior secondary school, and the play school was giving us enough amount of profit to live a daily life. And the other play schools were giving us some more profit, which we could invest, but that was also a meager amount, right? And that's where this idea struck, that people, when they see a school, right, you see a 1 acre land, 60,000 square feet building, huge playgrounds, huge, columns and towers at the entrance and the porch and all that stuff. No, that's not where it starts. It starts very simply, right? Say you have land, प्रखर जी, आपके पास land है, 1 एकड़ जमीन है आपके पास दिल्ली एनसीआर में कहीं पर भी, आपके पास 1 एकड़ जमीन है जो सीबीएसई बायलॉज के हिसाब से is the required land of that area. आपके पास वो जमीन है. आपने शुरुआत में आप आसपास के एरिया में कहीं पर भी एक कोठी किराए पे लो, start a play school out there, and parallelly whatever funds you have, start building, say, a 10,000, 20,000 square feet building, in which in next year you are only and only going to start nursery, prep, first, second, and third. That's it. For 2 years, if you really want to go bootstrap, आप खुद के पैसे से करना चाहते हो, आप लोन लेके लोगों को, पार्टनर्स को इन्वॉल्व करके नहीं करना चाहते, which is brilliant by the way. That is the right approach, right? लोन मत लो. And I tell this to everybody. आप first, second, third तक खोलते हो, आप उसको 2 साल चलाते हो, that generates you enough profit कि आप हर साल एक 10,000 स्क्वायर फुट की छत और डाल दो, विंटर वेकेशन में उस 10,000 स्क्वायर फुट को इंटीरियर फिट फिनिश कर दो, और अगले साल 10 क्लासरूम, 15 क्लासरूम और खोल के आप 4th, 5th, 6th and then 7th, 8th, 9th and then 10th, 11th, 12th, 5 साल 6 साल लेते हो आप, but without loan, without anything, and छोटे छोटे सक्सेस पा के आप आराम से वो जर्नी 5-6 साल में कर सकते हो, जहां पर जब 6 साल के बाद कोई आके देखता है आपके स्कूल को, तो वो बोलता है इतना बड़ा स्कूल आपने खड़ा कैसे किया था, आपकी जेब में तो सिर्फ 25 लाख ही थे.
Very true, Kshitij. I think that was a beautiful answer, and I'm sure a lot of people who might have been thinking that itni bada investment lagega, but I think you made this journey very much possible by doing investments in bits and pieces. And of course, school is one business where you do get some vacation time,
Yeah,
and
use it.
things can really become easier. Yes, use it. Absolutely, absolutely.
यूज इट एंड यू आर गेटिंग सम इनकम आल्सो, आपके पास इनकम भी आ रही है,
Right.
उसको भी यूज करो। आपके पास जो
Absolutely.
प्रॉफिट पहले साल का आया फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड नर्सरी प्रेप से, उससे अगला 10
Reinvest.
15 स्क्वायर फुट बनाओ, फिर अगला 10 स्क्वायर फुट बनाओ। पहले 4-5 साल के लिए अपनी जरूरतें कम रखो, तो बिना लोन के लिए जिंदगी भर के लिए स्कूल चलाते रहो।
True, that really inspiration. Now we coming to the next question. Is Mr. Vishal is writing, I'm experienced with two completed schools project that are currently running on 30 years lease. Uh, he would like to finalize something in in Jamnagar city, Gujarat. Are we open for it, sir?
As long as it's a franchisee owned, franchisee operated model, yes, we are
Sure.
open, because Jamnagar city, Gujarat, again, as I said during the presentation, I would like to go for franchisee owned, brand operated only in places where I can physically go and sit every alternative day. And my staff sit there every day, but at least I can go once in 2 days and physically sit out there so that I can generate the requirement of money so that I can give you good returns as well. Jamnagar
Absolutely.
city is far away from Delhi NCR. So franchisee owned, franchisee operated model. And in this franchisee owned, franchisee operated also, as we discussed during in the deck, you get all the inputs, everything for running the school and everything.
Makes sense. And Mr. Vishal will be more than happy to assist you, probably take you one-on-one with Kshitij. And I'm writing down the numbers, the hotline numbers on the chat box. Probably I'll announce it. It's 97176 83838. I repeat, 97176 83838 are our hotline numbers. In fact, after this call, every participant who has participated here directly will be calling you directly as well. Now, I also have a question from Mr. Thapa. He's asking, can you please explain the ROI and the payback period mentioned in the financial slide? So yes, Mr. Thapa, probably, a small description may not help you, but again, we would really advise you, please get in touch with us. Probably we are going to call you back, and Mr. Sitij would be more than happy to talk everything in detail and answer one-on-one questions that you would or you would have any. I hope Sitij, not a problem with that.
No problem. And actually, so Urvashi Thapa, so ma'am or sir, I'm not really sure, but going with ma'am, it depends again. So why I think Saras said that let's get connected one-on-one is because once I know what are the parameters that you're working with, whether you have the land, whether you have the building, or you have to lease the land or buy the land or all that stuff, can I actually sit and go through the entire process with you as to what the return on investment would be? Because return on investment depends majorly on investment, and if we know what investment you're going to make, we can draw out a path as to how to achieve a good ROI as quickly, how to achieve that 50%, 55% margin possible as quickly possible, and get the payback period also in.
Well, very well said, Kshitij, because this business is absolutely not only this business, but when we talk about details in business, very important to understand what mindset are you coming from. Is it a brownfield, greenfield? Very unique factors will absolutely turn into different reasons. Coming to the next question is how Mr. Bhatnagar is again asking how Smarten going to be a fit in rural education in terms of affordable education. Good point.
Okay. So as I was saying, Nazafgarh, while it's Delhi 43, pin code 43, it's not exactly Delhi. And the reason why I said that is because when we started our school, at that time we used to have a fees of about, I think, 3,900, 4,000 rupees fees, about 12 years ago, right? And at that time, the fees in local area, how you have these Jupiter schools and stuff like that. So there were a lot of Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto schools. And the fees out there used to be anywhere from 800 rupees to 1,500 rupees. Right? And if you do simple mathematics, we were like double, 2.5 times more in terms of fees for that area.
Okay.
But what really makes a difference is if you give quality, even in rural area, right? And
Right.
I'm not talking about one single village-based rural area, but let's talk about a district which is a tier 3 district of India, right? In that district, if you're giving quality education at affordable rates, so affordable is again a definition. For you, Bhatnagarji, affordable could be 10,000 rupees. For me, affordable is 5,000 rupees. But affordable in the sense that, as long as you're not above 90,000 rupees or above 80,000 rupees per year per child cost, it is an actual
Correct.
excellent fit, because that's what we have developed. And there's another short story attached to it. When we were starting this K-12 school, at that time, I don't know how many of you remember this, but Deccan Airlines used to be all the rage,
Hmm.
right? And there was a book by Captain Gopinath, the founder of Deccan Airlines, called Simply Fly.
Okay.
And both, I mean, my dad and Deccan Airlines, Captain Gopinath, so dad knows him sort of through the defense corridors kind of a thing. And very inspired by that man, me and my father sat down one day and we were discussing about it. And we said that, why do you have to pay 15,000 rupees per month to have education like GD Goenka? Why can't you pay? I mean, at the end of it, think about it. A flight of Deccan Airlines also taken to Mumbai. And at that time, a flight of Kingfisher Airlines also taken to Mumbai. It was taking the same freaking time. 2 घंटा लगना है, 2 घंटा ही लगना है. पानी चाहिए, पानी ही मिलेगा. पानी का स्वाद बदल नहीं जाएगा. So why can't you create a brand which can give you world-class education at affordable rates? And that's where Smarten School came in. And that's why in the deck, if you realize, there was another brand called Smarten International. Now that Smarten International is a Kingfisher Airlines. It's the luxury kind of a thing, right? Smarten School is world-class education with world-class facilities, air-conditioned classrooms, smart classrooms, all of that stuff at affordable rates. Smarten International is the luxury one. So to answer your question, Bhatnagarji,
I'm sure
Smarten
it
School
does.
fit in
Right.
regular, yeah, it does fit in rural education.
Right. Well, one last question probably will take up as we have already crossed the time limit. Mr. Vishal is asking, I'm interested only on management contact as I'm real estate developer. Well, Mr. Vishal, absolutely correct, because this is one of the models that the Spartan is actually offering. And we're talking about the different models where all the operations will be directly run by the brand itself. So yes, this model where we say that we probably call it a FICO or a FOCO model, where all the
Yep.
operations are done by the brand itself. And this is where neither you have to invest time, neither expertise. Probably what you have to do is the initial investment. And in return, what you also get is minimum guarantee. I think we talked about it that we are also offering a minimum
Yep.
guarantee of 12% or a fixed percentage payout, whichever is higher. So yes, we will be more than happy to talk about on one-on-one cases, and let's take it forward. Kshitij, with that, we would like to end this session, and thank you all for coming here. And special thank to Kshitij, who is coming with a beautiful model of solving a problem from the K-12 school industry, and not just the primary school, so we can understand the business of school actually multiplies by 12.
Yep.
Year on year, year on year, year on year, and this is one-time investment that you can do. But Kshitij, with his experience, has also said how you can even do the payment arrangements over a spread of 2 years. Where you just
2 years,
earn from the
3 years,
money and
take your
probably
time.
sorry. All right, friends. So please write us on our official email address. The email address is feedback@franchiseindia.in. feedback@franchiseindia.in. And for all the people who are watching us on live on Facebook and YouTube, I announce the number again. It's 97176 83838. I repeat, 97176 83838. We are waiting for your emails. The email address once again is feedback@franchiseindia.in. All the participants who have been here, we all will be contacting you and taking it one-on-one cases. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. Wish you the best of your life you ever had. And thank you, and over to you, Harshita.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Saras sir. Thank you so much, Shitaji, for this wonderful presentation, discussion, and the Q&A that you have taken for our friends. Friends, you can reach us on our hotline number, as Saras sir said, 9717683838. Also, you can write us on feedback@franchiseindia.in. You can also connect to the LinkedIn IDs of Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am, refer to this slide. And from today evening, we are starting our evening series Bharat Franchise Show with different business opportunities. So today we have invited education brands. The education brands that we have invited, like Direct English, Envision, Top Rankers, Head and Heart. So please be on, stay tuned, reach us to our hotline number and do your registrations for today evening. Thank you, everyone.